Yes, we have found ourselves in Chicago because Krystal Rivera, the female police officer that was killed in the line of duty, that's where this story is. And if you pay attention to the wording, even if you read the articles, it asks more questions than it answers. So, we're going to see what's up with Krystal, we're going to see what's up with the investigatory stop, and we're going to see how this is playing out. Pay attention to the wording. Also, I would like to note, 77% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your phone in your hand, your laptop, click the button, and we'll move along. Also, I'm upstairs and the windows are open. Over there in that pasture, there is a donkey, and over there in that pasture, I know I'm pointing to it and you can't see it, but that's fine. There's horses. They're cutting some hay down back over there. If you hear outside noise and you don't like it, go somewhere else. Anyway, Chicago.
Police officer Krystal Rivera, the first officer killed in the line of duty this year. Right now, there is an ongoing investigation into her death. The young officer and mother killed after a foot chase on the south side.
WGN's Julian Cruz live in the Pullman neighborhood with more tonight. Julian?
Hey guys, one man in custody, no word on any possible charges as the Cook County Medical Examiner, CPD's investigative response team, and the Civilian Office of Police Accountability all work to understand.
Civilian Office of Police Accountability. They're all civilians. All law enforcement are civilians. If you are not a member of the armed forces, you are a civilian. They want to be military so bad they can't stand it. They are all civilians.
How this deadly tragedy happened. As Area 2 detectives continue to question an individual who was taken into custody, Chicago's top cop lamenting the loss of yet another officer lost in the line of duty.
This happens way too often.
Now, if you look at his face and you look at his face, I think at this point they know. And he says this happens way too often. This happens way too often, or cops getting shot in the line of duty by suspects happens way too often. Which one are you going with?
An officer, a young officer, 36 years old, and 4 years on the job, who was working hard.
Officer Krystal Rivera losing her life last night as a result of an investigatory stop.
Investigatory stop? What is that? I'm glad you asked. Hold up. An investigatory stop, often called a Terry stop, is a brief, non-intrusive detention by police officers based on a reasonable suspicion that a person is, was, or will be involved in criminal activity. Reasonable articulable suspicion. What that sound? Unlike an arrest, which requires probable cause, an investigatory stop allows officers to briefly detain and question individuals to investigate the situation without necessarily having enough evidence to arrest. Key aspects of an investigatory stop. Reasonable suspicion. Officers must have a reasonable suspicion, which is less than probable cause, that a crime is afoot based on specific and articulable facts. The detention is temporary and focuses on confirming or dispelling the officer's suspicions. Once you've dispelled their suspicions, it's supposed to be over with. Officers can ask questions and make reasonable inquiries to clarify the situation. If an officer reasonably believes the individual is armed and dangerous, a pat-down search of their outer clothing, Frisk, may be conducted for weapons. Now, they'll say they're doing a frisk, a Terry frisk, and they are not. They are doing a full search. They'll go in pockets. They'll pull shit. No, you're only. It's a pat down for weapons, is what that's supposed to be. They never do it like that. An investigatory stop does not necessarily mean an arrest. It is a step taken to investigate potential criminal activity without the need to establish probable cause for arrest. Which potential, then they could just the Terry stuff needs to go, because that just gives them carte blanche to just stop and pat anybody down. I'm just saying.
CPD commanders say, trying to apprehend what she and others believe was an armed suspect.
But they won't tell you why they believe that.
That suspect fleeing on foot into this apartment building.
Fled on foot into the apartment building. Now, as far as we know, there's only two of them. Seems like they fled into the building. Well, once the foot chase was going on, it seems like they'd be calling for backup. One stay at the front, maybe one go to the back and wait. No.
On the 8200 block of South Drexel Avenue just before 10 o'clock last night.
They were then confronted by a second person who was in that apartment who was armed with a rifle.
They were then confronted by a second person that was armed with a rifle.
Pointed at the officers.
Pointed at the officers.
At some point, the officer discharged a weapon.
At some point, the officer discharged a weapon. Now, all they've said so far is the second person that was in the apartment had a firearm and allegedly pointed it at them.
Our officer was struck.
The officer fired their weapon. Don't know if it was a male or a female. And Krystal Rivera was struck. It sounds to me like, because it didn't say any of the suspects fired any weapons, that the officer fired their weapon and shot and killed Krystal. That's what it sounds like to me.
She was then transported by assisting units to the hospital.
And wait till you hear how this shit show plays out.
To make matters worse, the squad car used to transport Rivera catching fire. Fellow officers
The car transporting her caught fire. What's the odds?
quickly loading the mortally wounded patrol officer into another vehicle.
And yes, in something like this, even if it's a suspect, they don't have to wait for EMS to arrive. It's called load and go. They can load them into a car and go to the hospital. It's life over limb.
But Rivera, who has a young daughter, later pronounced dead at
Also, that young daughter was just turning 11 when the mother was shot and killed.
the University of Chicago Hospital.
The entire city of Chicago is grieving and mourning
I think he knows.
together over this tragic loss of one of Chicago's finest.
A somber procession early this morning
Also, all this taxpayer money, all these people are getting overtime to be there. If they were not getting paid, they would not be there.
as the body is transferred from Hyde Park to the
Look at this one. Ooh, this is what we're doing? And this one's like, don't look at the camera. Just stand there. Nope, we're just going to stand there. This is what we're doing. I think they know. And they're probably thinking, I wonder how much overtime this is going to be.
Cook County Medical Examiner. Rivera, the first Chicago police officer to be killed this year, but the fifth officer shot and killed since 2023. An autopsy by the Cook County Medical Examiner revealing that Officer Krystal Rivera died as a result of a gunshot wound to the back.
A gunshot wound to the back. So it sounds to me like the partner was flanking and popped off a round, because it doesn't say that the suspect, they ran in. Why would you run into an apartment building or an apartment that you don't know who's in there, and just expect it to be a good outcome, even if you're not getting shot by your partner? I'm just throwing that out there.
At Area 2 Police Headquarters, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
Thank you, Julian. As investigators continue looking into this deadly shooting, members of the community are finding ways to show support for the police department.
And WGN's Courtney Spinelli is live at St. Sabina with more. Courtney, tell us what you're learning about the young officer.
Yeah, good evening to you both. 36-year-old Krystal Rivera was an officer on the 6th District, which also served the community here where St. Sabina is located. Every Friday night, they do peace walks in the summer, but tonight's included some somber remarks from both department leadership and the mayor, as well as other local leaders about the fallen officer. Rivera proudly served on CPD for the last 4 years. She was working on the 6th District's tactical team when she was killed, working to get guns off the streets of Chicago. She's remembered by her colleagues as an exceptional officer. Her brothers and sisters in blue say her greatest pride in life was her daughter. Rivera served out of the same district as Officer Enrique Martinez, who was shot and killed months ago in the line of duty. Rivera was a 2021 graduate of the Police Academy. A photo of their recruit class shared with us by a friend.
All the
Those close to her
taxpayer
say
money.
she had a beautiful smile, a contagious laugh, and was fiercely loyal. Rivera's colleagues tell me she worked hard and never held back, and they say she made a huge difference during her time on the force. We spoke with a retired police officer whose son and niece also work at the 6th District. She stopped by today to bring food and drinks for the men and women who their work doesn't stop despite this loss.
Even if you don't know the officer, it hits home, it hits to the core. And our job as officers is to make sure our partners go home at the end of the day.
Their partners go home at the end of the day. Not so much you, but their partners.
And when that doesn't happen, it affects the officer as well as the family.
Just a sad day, you know. Whenever a family loses somebody, and if you call Chicago a family, definitely the police department as a family.
Chicago is a dumpster fire masquerading as a city. Call it like it is.
Then it's going to be a heavy scene, and a lot of people with personal stories about her.
Now, we've certainly heard a lot of those.
Look at all the money.
Today, Pastor Donovan Price, who you just heard from there, was at the hospital helping to show his support this morning. After praying with officers in the early hours, he spent the day going to several districts to offer prayers and show the men and women serving the city that people have their back. Now, Mayor Brandon Johnson also here tonight, along with 6th District Commander Michael Tate. Those remarks brief because of how emotional this all is, but they thanked the community and told them they appreciate the support and how they've wrapped their arms around this department in light of their most recent tragic loss last night into this morning. Now, they're asking people, if you are in the community and you see an officer, say thank you or just give them a handshake. They say it means a lot. For now, live in Auburn Gresham, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
All right. Courtney, thank you. We'll have continuing coverage of the on-duty death of Officer Krystal Rivera once details are released.
Yes, thank you, Courtney. So, is there more to the story? There always is. In the late, wee hours of the night, this comes out.
And we begin tonight at 10 with breaking developments in the shooting death of Chicago police officer Krystal Rivera. Moments ago, we learned the 36-year-old mother was shot and killed by a fellow officer during a foot pursuit.
Of course, always listen to the wording.
Tonight, Jermont Terry is speaking with Chicago's police superintendent about the investigation. We start, though, with Charlie DeMar. He's live at the 6th District, where she's being remembered by the community tonight. Charlie?
And Joe, Krystal Rivera not only remembered as a Chicago police officer, but also as a devoted mother. As you just mentioned, we've learned from CPD that it is Rivera's partner who fired that fatal shot tonight. The Chicago Police Department asking for prayers not only for Rivera and her family, but also for her partner. The weight of grief now drapes from the 6th District. It's the Southside community where Chicago police officer Krystal Rivera served for 4 years.
Officer Krystal Rivera.
Friends of Rivera say she fulfilled her lifelong dream of becoming an officer in 2021 when she was sworn in.
If you knew her, you knew that she was very determined, but she had such a sweet spirit and a gentle heart.
Chicago police say just before 10 p.m. Thursday on 82nd and Drexel, Rivera and her partner chased a man they thought had a gun. The suspect ran.
But they won't say why. What was the point of the stop? Why did they think he had a gun? And why did they run into an apartment building that there should have been more people there?
Into a nearby building, up some stairs, and into an apartment. That's when police say a second person armed with a rifle pointed it in the officer's direction. One of the officers opened fire.
Pointed it in their direction, never said they fired.
Superintendent Larry Snelling made no mention of the suspect shooting back at the officers.
Of course they didn't, because the suspect likely didn't shoot back. The suspect saw the shit go down and be like, wait, they're going to take care of it for us.
A procession lined the streets as Officer Rivera's body was taken to the Cook County Medical Examiner's office, who determined late Friday the 36-year-old officer was fatally shot in the back.
They'll be able to determine by checking out the bullet that when the officer was shot with, what gun that came from, and that will determine whether or not it was the person with the rifle or perhaps it was one of the officers.
Dr. Carrie Steiner, a former CPD officer turned police and public service psychologist,
I started hearing from officers probably around 10:30.
Says she is particularly concerned about the officers in the 6th District who are in mourning once again. In February, a 27-year-old officer died by suicide, and last November, Officer Enrique Martinez, also assigned to the 6th District, was gunned down just blocks from where Rivera was killed.
And so this is a lot of cumulative trauma. And so I am really worried about all of the officers there and how they're feeling. I think that right now everybody's more so in shock.
In shock? What's the partner's name? Can we have that?
And Chicago police say the investigation into the person who aimed that rifle towards the officers on scene, that investigation is...
So it'll wind up being the suspect's fault for pointing a gun that the cop, the dumb one, shot and killed the partner. They'll wind up making it all the suspect's fault.
Still ongoing, and that person is in custody. Jermont Terry had the opportunity to take some of these questions about the investigation directly to Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling. Hey, Jermont.
Charlie, you're right. I had a brief one-on-one with Superintendent Larry Snelling earlier today. Our police sources had already confirmed that the fallen officer was hit by friendly fire. When I asked the question directly to the superintendent, he didn't dodge that question, but he did say they had to review all body cameras before they could speak publicly about what we know tonight.
So apparently they've reviewed them because they've spoke publicly. Where's the body cam footage?
Do you know if this was accidental? What about the weapon of the gun?
So here's what I'll tell you about that. The investigation...
He knows. I'm almost sure he knows because this is from a earlier video that I saw.
Still wrapping up right now, and as soon as we have every single fact in place, we're transparent, we're going to put that information out.
Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling responding directly to my question of how CPD fallen officer Krystal Rivera was shot. After Officer Rivera and her partner chased a man into a building in the Chatham neighborhood. Please stop. I'm almost betting that's going to be one of the partners. Not these particular ones, but I'm almost betting it's going to be a female. Neighborhood. We fight for who? We fight for her! Despite a long and heartbreaking 24 hours, the superintendent, along with Mayor Brandon Johnson, still showed up to a rally in Bronzeville.
What better place to acknowledge her life, and the fact that she gave her life for the people who are out here right now today.
This group marched down King Drive to bring awareness of the unsolved cases of missing black and brown women in Chicago.
She was going after the bad people who were doing harm to others, and she wanted justice. She wanted justice for the people that...
Well, they need to learn how to do it correctly and have more people there, particularly when you're running into an apartment building.
That you see standing and marching and walking out here right now today.
Snelling says as the city and department mourn, it's just as important to remember the vow each officer takes to protect even when they are
all
hurt.
the money.
Chicago Police Department, these members are my family. And when we lose a family member, it's tough, it's hard. But those family members are resilient, they're tough, they will want you to keep moving on.
Now, COPA is leading this ongoing investigation. Superintendent Snelling says as the investigation unfolds, the top priority tonight is the fallen officer's family, and now we know that also includes the partner who fired that shot. Reporting live outside.
Yes, who is that?
At CPD headquarters tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS News Chicago. Joe? Jermont, thank you very much.
Yes, Jermont, thank you very much. So, that's where we're at with this one. I'm almost sure he knows. I'm almost sure they all know. I can't fathom that they don't know, that they didn't know what happened. Anyway, let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 77% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. Get your phone in your hand, you're at your laptop, click the button, and we'll move along. Let me know what you think about this one, and I'm out.